A jury shakeup in the hush money trial of former President Trump, why 2 jurors have been dismissed, and the judge has a warning for journalists. Hey, Ron, how's the forecast?
Hey, Karen, we had those storms yesterday. Today, we got the break that we needed, but we do have some showers on the way, and we're tracking them on a ZacTrack 4D radar, first at 4.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Karen Drew. First at 4, doctors and physician assistants at a local hospital have just walked off the job. They are on strike. It's happening at Ascension St. John in Detroit. Their union says there are a few key issues, but the top problem is a lack of properly trained workers in the emergency room. There are also concerns over how the doctors and PAs are treated. And we told you the union gave a 10-day strike notice on April 8th, and now time's up after months of contract talks.
We've had enough. How many more patients' lives do we have to put at risk by being short-staffed, by having 16, 17-hour wait times, by letting these patients sit out there scared? How much longer are we going to take this?
Union is negotiating with a company called Team Health in Knoxville, which provides ER services at St. John's. It says it's negotiating in good faith and says the ER is fully staffed. We're going to dig further into their differences during a live report on Local 4 News at 6. Safety is on top of the mind ahead of the NFL draft as hundreds of thousands of people will be descending on Detroit for that 3-day event. Today, we learned Detroit police will have some serious help making sure that everything runs smoothly. The team is a who's who of law enforcement, including sheriff's deputies from Wayne and Oakland counties, federal teams from the FBI, ATF, and Homeland Security, even some officers from across the border. They say they all will be working together, and the focus goes beyond the city.
MSP is deeply committed to making sure that we monitor everything that goes on here, not only in the city of Detroit, but in the state of Michigan. And so our Michigan Intelligence Operations Center, our other fusion centers here in the Detroit area, we will be monitoring consistently everything that we can to make sure that we communicate effectively with our partners, that if there is a potential threat, we can respond appropriately.
The Detroit Fire Department will also be on hand with 4 stationary medical tents, 6 ambulances, and fire inspectors patrolling around the footprint of the draft. Don't forget, the entire event is free. You just need the NFL One Pass app to register and walk in. Let's take a live look outside in Southfield. It may not be a super gorgeous spring day, but really there's not too much to complain about. You got a couple clouds there, nice bright blue sky, traffic moving smoothly. Ron Hilliard is in for Kim Adams. He's got our first forecast. How are things shaping up for the rest of the day?
Karen, after having those periods of sunshine across much of the area to start off the day, some clouds are starting to build, and you see that right there with the skyline of Detroit. That view comes from Windsor. Now, those clouds will continue building as we get later into the afternoon and evening hours. Right now, temperatures are mostly in the lower to mid 60s. Some of us a little bit cooler, though. We have 55 coming in Sandusky, 63 for Pontiac. We're at 65 in Ann Arbor. Detroit, we're at 66 degrees. Temperature comfortable right where they should be, mid-April. But look what's happening on a ZacTrack 4D radar. After getting a break from the precipitation, rain showers back on the way. Some of them as you go over toward the Alma area, going over toward the Lansing area, starting to get closer and closer to our area. So we're going to track to see where they're going to be, what time they should arrive to our area. Here's what we're expecting. The rain showers moving in. It is cooler this weekend, and then another system we'll be talking about coming for Tuesday. Karen?
All right, thanks, Ron. So, will Israel strike back at Iran? We're still waiting for the next move in their tense standoff, but the U.S. and Britain are slapping Iran with new sanctions. Today, the U.S. Treasury Department targeted 16 people and 2 companies that produce drone engines. Also cracked down on 5 companies in steel production for supporting Iran's military and other sanctioned groups. The United Kingdom sanctioned several people involved in Iran's drone and ballistic missile industries. This is all in response to Iran's unprecedented attack on Israel last weekend, which was retaliation for an Israeli attack on the Iranian consulate in Syria. Now, we've never seen a former American president on trial, and jury selection for Donald Trump is proving to be anything but routine. Already been a shakeup on the jury, and prosecutors want the former president held in contempt of court. Kimberly Gill joins us from the newsroom to run through some of the day's turning points. Kim.
Hi, Karen. Good afternoon. The pressure of being on this jury must be really intense. Every move will be analyzed so closely by people for and against former President Donald Trump. 7 jurors were sworn in Tuesday. Today, 2 of them were dismissed. Once again, the former president is in court as required. One juror was excused after she backtracked on whether she could truly be impartial in the case against Trump. We cannot show the jurors, but another panelist was let go over concerns he may not have been truthful about whether he was ever accused or convicted of a crime. Meanwhile, the district attorney is seeking a $3,000 fine for Trump because the prosecutor says Trump's posts online violate a gag order. In fact, they say he's violated the order 7 more times, and they call the situation ridiculous. Trump has said he's simply defending himself. A hearing is scheduled for next week to discuss possible sanctions. Right now, only 5 jurors have been sworn in. The court is looking for a total of 18, 12 to serve on the jury and 6 alternates. The former president faces 34 felony counts of falsifying business records to cover up payments to an adult film actress about an alleged affair, which Trump denies. This is the first of 4 criminal cases against Trump to go to trial and might be the only one before the November election. So today, the judge also ordered the media to avoid reporting information about the current and former employers of the prospective jurors. He says it's become a problem when it comes to protecting their identities. The answers from some jurors on those questions will be redacted from court transcripts. We'll have updates on jury selection as they become available. Karen, we'll send it back to you.
All right, we appreciate it. Thanks, Kim. Trump's likely Democratic opponent in November is on the campaign trail today, picking up some endorsements. President Joe Biden went to Philadelphia to receive the support of several members of the Kennedy political dynasty. Their support is a boost against both Trump and Robert F. Kennedy, who's an independent candidate for the White House. His sister Carrie is making it clear much of the family does not support her brother's campaign. She says Biden has the United States thriving again, believing again, and behaving like good neighbors. Now, it looks like Biden and Trump will both face Kennedy on the ballot here in Michigan. Today, the Secretary of State confirms the Natural Law Party has nominated RFK Jr. at their convention. That nomination means he won't have to go through the process of gathering petitions. Both parties worry Kennedy could play spoiler in states like Michigan, where President Biden won by just 154,000 votes. National Spotlight is about to shine all over downtown Detroit, and our Hart Plaza is going to have some extra sparkle. That's because the Dodge Fountain is about to get a new lease on life. Let's take a live look right now at that landmark. Today, we were able to get a tour inside as crews work their magic for a big reveal. Rob Maloney shows us what they're doing.
45 years ago this weekend, Mayor Coleman Young actually opened up Hart Plaza. It was named for Michigan Senator Phil Hart. But at the center of it all is the Dodge Fountain. And as the city's fortunes declined, the overall plaza and especially the fountain fell into disrepair. Last year, though, the city decided, we need to put some money in there and fix up that fountain. They've been working on it all winter, and it's ready for its national debut. Last October, they started pulling the brick pavers out from under the Dodge Fountain. Today, we're seeing the finishing touches as they're waterproofing the new nozzles and securing the painstaking work they've done over the winter. Ryan Miller from Fountains by Waterworks is the project manager.
This job has presented every unique challenge I could think of.
Custom built with a $2 million donation by Anna Thompson Dodge, wife of Horace Elgin Dodge, one of the original Dodge brothers, they spared no expense on the fountain, which actually caused problems with the repair now because nothing came standard.
We couldn't clone them, so to speak. So we had to go around and figure out the dimensions and everything manually and scour every, machine shop and screw manufacturer we could find to find something that would work.
Nearly half a century later, much of the innards were obsolete and worn out, and the fountain ring itself with its aluminum panels required a lot of time-consuming work.
All this had to be done by hand. There's 72 panels up there in that ring. Each one of those panels had to be buffed down, neutral, and redone. It took about 7 to 10 hours for each panel to be repolished and have the new patina put on.
And underneath, they've replaced steel pipes with PVC, and Luke Miller says this ended up a tough but rewarding labor of love.
It means so much to the city, it means so much to the people, and it's definitely a one-of-a-kind project. There's only one of these fountains in the world, and it's really cool to be a part of.
The bill for all that work comes to about $6 million. They have some more work to do on it, but they say that they're going to have the place up and running in full working order by Memorial Day weekend. so the kids can splash around, especially around the time of the Movement Festival. In downtown Detroit, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
Cool stuff. Thanks, Rod. By the way, Rod tells us Ryan and Luke were most excited to see that fountain lit up last night. It is beautiful, they say, and will be working in time for the draft.